Hey everyone, it is April 24th here. I'm actually walking to meet a friend of mine. We're going to play soccer or football as the Brits call it. It's very nice weather here in Estonia at this time. And this is typical spring weather here. It's very pleasant, and this is definitely the time to be outside. So the whole epidemic here is dying out, which is quite positive because it's been very interesting this period. But each day is kind of a learning experience. I mean, I think these, as I've said before, I think these crises honestly build a lot of fortitude, and it's good for people. People have to experience these kind of situations, I think, to have a better appreciation for when things are more positive, when they're good. So it's been a real interesting experience for me. Now, here in Estonia, many people are still outdoors, they're exercising, all this. Unlike in other countries, they haven't shut down a lot of these parks and venues, so you can still use them and there's no issues here. So that's a huge plus, because in other countries they have all of these venues shut down, and it's very difficult to be able to do just basic things. There's actually countries where if people are in parks, they'll arrest those people. It's insane, honestly. It's truly crazy, but it's just a sign of the times, honestly. This is the situation, and it's good for people to experience a different lifestyle. Only when someone is really pushed can they build real fortitude. They have to be in these kind of situations to better cope in the future. So in my day-to-day life, things haven't really changed that much, honestly. Like, most of my routines are the same. I fortunately don't have a employer. I'm self-employed, so I can still do what I've been doing. I have been doing all right, so I'm in a fortunate position. One final thing to understand here is that this is natural cycle in life. There's ups and downs, and most people, honestly, they can get through these types of situations. There's a lot of people that maybe aren't used to these struggles, but when you kind of just accept this, what we're going through now it won't impact you as deeply. And that's kind of what I've learned. Is I had some situations a couple years ago when I was back in the States, and honestly, like, most things 2 years down the road you won't even be concerned about. There's only so much that you can occupy your brain with, and eventually you just realize that these are just small struggles in relation to the big picture and the grand scheme of life. And that's kind of what I've learned. I've had a lot of various experiences, and often when people are on their highs, they don't realize that the low feelings actually can be more powerful than those highs. So one always has to keep that in perspective when they're in their day-to-day life. So this right here is a beach that I'm very close to. This is in the northern part of the city, North Tallinn, where I live. Or these parks and beaches are open most of the year, so I don't think they close at all. And they have some soccer fields. They have trails here, and this is often where I like to come to do some sport and exercise and all this. So it's of course right now during this time of the year it's very nice here. It's finally getting warmer. We're finally into April, and I'll just flip the camera around so that you can get a better idea of what I'm seeing. So that's kind of the view of everything. I'm just about a couple hundred meters from the seafront here, and not too much further to the soccer fields. Soccer's a pretty popular sport here. It's not as popular as some of the other European countries like Poland, but it still is it's still played by a pretty significant percentage of people, and it's pretty easy here to find a soccer field and play, and there's often pickup games and whatnot, so always action to be found here. And I'll just show everyone kind of another view of this seafront that I'm looking at, so you can see exactly the view that we have here. So that's what I'm looking at here, and then yeah, it's pretty nice. So we're almost to the fields here. I'll show you. This is right next to this area. I'll just flip the camera around here. Yeah, as you can see, there's some people here, so I'll see if anyone has an extra ball. Usually there's at least a few people at this place, and you can usually find some people who want to play, which is nice.